Shit, thank you for the extra coats. What do I always do? Extra coat of arrogant, extra coat of armor.
Give me my stones back, Dale.
Please don't hurt me, Thanos. I've been a good boy, I promise. Every night! Alright, so I was gonna say something about this. Before I seen this tweet. I bookmarked a few things where Speed was doing things with Tom Brady and, you know, things at the UEFA Championship League final. Now, I was pointing out the fact, now somebody said it for me. I'm not trying to divide the two. I believe they're both two very successful individuals in their own right. But this guy says, I don't know who's bigger between this guy and Kai, but I know Speed picked the better lane for sure. Now, I noticed his Speed, instead of being at DreamCon, he was making waves. You know, Speed is, you know, here's my thing that I was trying to say a long time ago back in, when did that thing happen with Kai? 2022, where my words were misconstrued? Well, it's like my message wasn't like processed correctly. It was in 2022. And I always said that like my biggest thing about Kai was the whole crossover appeal thing, right? How I felt like everything Speed's doing, Kai should be doing too. Like, I feel like he's capable of doing so, but I was like, there was only a couple of things that was holding him back then. And I feel like if he were to kind of loosen up with a couple of those things, he would have been able, even though he's Kai, he's still gonna be famous regardless, right? But I mean, this is just kind of like a prime indication of what I kind of meant by that, is that regardless of the fact, it's better to be internationally known than just known in North America to that extent. I'm pretty sure, well, obviously Kai's known all over too, but I'm saying like the lengths that Speed is going to, and being known generationally, I would say analytically all across the globe, is kind of like the same vision I kind of had for Kai back in 2022, but my words were misconstrued. I was like, yo, he has the crossover appeal if he just XYZ. But you know, niggas misconstrued my words. But this tweet kind of reminded me of the same shit that I was saying when I bookmarked a bunch of Speed clips. Mind you, he didn't go to DreamCon. I don't know, has Speed ever been to DreamCon before? I'm pretty sure he went before, but I don't remember any highlights. Speed is even known in the Middle East, India, Japan, Korea, Brazil, and many South American countries, of course, because I've always said this about blacks. Guys, what do I say about black entertainers? What's the most important thing I always say about black entertainers? What do I always say? The most important thing for a black entertainer is what? No, not aura, nigga. Crossover appeal. I've always said that. I always said the main goal for any black entertainer of any kind is to have crossover appeal. If you're somebody that's too black based, alright, it's cool if the niggas fuck with you. But if you're somebody that's too black based, you're alienating a big part of your crossover audience. Like Travis Scott doesn't come off like a raw. He doesn't come off as somebody who's just for niggas. Travis Scott comes off as somebody that's for everybody, right? He's a black entertainer that understands that. You see what I'm saying? Speed is the guy that comes off as something, he's a guy for everybody. He just happens to be black. Travis Scott happens to be black. Even me, like, bro, you know how many people that come up to me that's not black? Like, of course I got niggas that come up to me, but you know how many people come up to me that's not black? How many Asians, Hispanics, white kids, etc. that come up to me? Because I have crossover appeal. Like, it's cool, like I said, it's cool to be known amongst the blacks, whatever, you know, dap, yo, what's good, my nigga, all that type of shit. But if you're a black entertainer, your biggest, and I've always said this for years, your biggest goal should always to be a crossover appeal, to the point where it's like you're black, but people look past you being black and look at you as the entertainer. Right? You don't see Speed wearing these big ass chains and fucking wearing all this big bling and shit like that. He's just like a guy. Like he's Speed that just happens to be black and happens to be that entertainer that's black, but he's Speed before anything else. You don't just look at, oh, that's a black guy. You'd be like, oh, it's Speed. And then, oh, he just happens to be black. So a crossover appeal, like I've always said, is something that every black entertainer should have, to where you want people to just look at you for the entertainer that you are, but you happen, like, you don't look at Beyonce and be like, she's black. You'd be like, oh, that's Beyonce. You don't look at Will Smith and be like, oh, he's black. You look at him and be like, that's Will Smith. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, KSI, you don't look at KSI and be like, oh, that's a black guy. You'd be like, that's KSI. Like, you guys understand what I'm talking about. You said, does this go for white? Well, white people automatically cross over, because if you're white, why would you forcefully cross over to blacks when they're not going to be the biggest percentage of your ticket sales, of your movie tickets or anything? So as a white entertainer, you don't have to appeal to niggas. Like, there's no point. If they're going to fuck with you, they're going to fuck with you, but you're not losing anything analytically if niggas don't fuck with you. You're already Caucasian. So why would you purposely try to appeal to niggas? Unless there's just some sort of what's the shit that Caucasians like to do sometime? Pander to niggas. You know, Justin Timberlake and fucking Justin Bieber, they had their reigns where they wanted to, like, you know, Justin Timberlake really wanted to win R&B album of the year, blah blah blah. Like, it was his destiny to be R&B guy. And fucking Justin Bieber, it was his destiny to just be around a bunch of niggas. Like, sometimes, you know, white guys and shit, they, for some reason, they got this bug in them where they want to be cool for like 2-3 seasons with niggas and then they get over it. But yeah, click on a clip.
Ready, man. Let's go.
Hey, trust me, I'd rather be here than DreamCon. I mean, somebody else said the tweet, but I kind of like was going to talk about this. Yeah, I was going to talk about this, but he stole it. He kind of stole it from me, but I read that bookmark it and elaborate at that particular point. I thought I had more, but
Tomorrow,
I don't know that.
I'm going to start
Shit, he cut the motherfuckers off, bro. That was a quick thing. Remember, Speed is focused on crossover appeal, not appealing to a bunch of niggas. Like, he doesn't need braids and big bling and big watches and chains and shit like that. Crossover appeal is better than all of that. Like, do you see Michael B. Jordan on the red carpet with big ass iced out watches? Like, he could afford it all, right? But you don't see him with big ass bling, big ass chain that say MBJ, double Cuban type shit, like, bro, nigga, chat. Keep telling you niggas, as a black entertainer, crossover appeal is the best thing you can have. You're gonna have other ethnicities that fuck with you, but you want them to feel comfortable at doing so, where they don't have to feel like put it like this, if I'm a white kid, but I'm a big fan of a black streamer or this and that, I don't feel like I gotta be a white kid that acts black to fuck with them. I could be my typical Zach self and still watch LowTierGods content and still watch Speed's content and still watch Kai's content. If I'm an Hispanic kid, I don't feel like I gotta be a saucy ass Hispanic where I'm like, yeah, bro, like, what's good with you, gang? Like, I could just be Hispanic. I could just be Asian and fuck with you regardless. I don't have to fit into this black bubble to feel like it's cool for me to fuck with you because you're a black entertainer. Said I was right about him not having a swag. No, I didn't say he didn't have a swag personality. I'm saying, like, that there should be a deciphered personality versus when you stream on Twitch versus when you're doing red carpet events. That's basically what I said. I dropped a TikTok on it. Guys, I dropped content on I've been making sure that there's been content on TikTok from my streams, like, every day basically. So make sure you guys are tapped into my TikTok. Make sure you guys are following, boosting up the algorithm, liking the videos, and so on and so forth. So if you guys are missing pieces from the stream, a lot of this shit are good, you know, good pieces are on there. Yeah, or I've been having a TikTok. That shit been verified and everything.